Hello and welcome to IMSTA FESTA 2022. Ruben Music Man Garcia with you here today, and I hope you guys are having a great time so far. Today I have the great privilege to introduce to you the realistic and game-changing sounds of Axiom. Axiom is a standalone software app for guitar effects processing, which can also be opened within your DAW of choice. The supported formats are AAX, VST, BST3, and AU, or audio units. Now, Axiom contains over 70 different effects built in, from guitar amps, guitar cabs, pedals, delays, overdrives, and many more. Now, within Axiom, you can also toy around with impulse responses. Within Axiom, there is unlimited customization, so you're really only limited by your imagination. Axiom is low CPU usage. When idle, Axiom takes little to no processing from your CPU until triggered by an incoming signal. So when there's no signal processing through Axiom, it takes no CPU usage whatsoever, unlike many other plugins, which will boggle down on your CPU whether or not they are receiving incoming audio signals or any other kind of data. So now we're going to get into a couple sounds of Axiom. Now I hope you enjoy my short performance using Axiom and using the Appetite for Roses Alive preset. With a couple of tweaks, I have maxed out the drive at 11, but everything else is pretty much stock. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a little taste of what you can do with the built-in presets in Axiom. So as I had mentioned before, I used the Appetite for Roses Alive preset, with the exception of the drive being maxed out at 11. For those of you who are interested, I used a Les Paul copy loaded with Alnico 2 humbuckers. Now the backing track, Elemental Bazaar, is compliments of our very own Guillaume, the CEO of Blue Cat Audio. Now I will be loading a link shortly of how you can get your hands on that backing track, so you can go ahead and jam along. So if you're interested in downloading Guillaume's backing track, Elemental Bazaar, you can do so at this website. The URL is highlighted in blue. The chord progression can be found here, and the download playback link can be located here. I hope you guys enjoy this track just like I have, and you go ahead and play along with it as long as you'd like. Enjoy. So just to get into some quick tech lingo, Axiom is officially supported on all Apple Silicon, meaning the M1, M1 Max, M1 Ultra, and the upcoming M2 processor. Now, Blue Cat Audio was one of the first companies to work tediously to allow their software and plugins to run natively on Apple Silicon. without the use of Rosetta 2. Now, for those of you who may not know, Rosetta 2 is a translation software used by Apple to allow non-supported software to run on the M1 or Apple Silicon processors. So to hit the ground running, we can start with our presets menu. If we click on the title up here, we pull out our factory presets menu. We have all kinds of clean, crunch, and dirty sounds that you can go for. We also have a specific section called Guitar Legends, which are presets inspired by Guitar Legends. Now, another way to get started quickly is by going to our icon here, which contains an icon of a folder with a magnifying glass, which is our presets browser. So if you click on that, our browser appears to the left. So as you can see here, I have a search inquiry already called metal to search for a heavy metal sound. So it gives me a couple options already. So let's say I am looking for something different. Let's say I'm in the mood for surf. I can go ahead and type surf, press enter, and now I have a preset called surf mood. And then one more time, if I want something else, let's say I'm in the mood for some blues, I'm feeling a little bit blue. I can go ahead and press enter, and now I have a blues preset recommendation here. So again, a very easy, quick way to start and to get moving. So one of the things that is special and unique about Axiom is its transparency. It translates very well when it comes to different kinds of pickups, changes in volume in your volume controls, changes in your tone controls. So anything from active pickups, passive pickups, humbuckers, mini humbuckers, single coils, stack pickups, filtertrons, and so on. So for example, if you like to clean up your sound going from, let's say, a lead or crunch tone, and then rolling your volume knob to get more of an in-between or cleaner sound, or if you like to get that dark high end similar to something like, let's say, like Santana, or for that Eric Clapton woman tone, or that very creamy slash tone with the tone all the way rolled off. Secondly, one of the most cool, in my opinion, and unique features of Axiom is its ability to open third-party plugins in its environment. So for example, if I go here, I have the option of loading a third-party VST, VST3, or AU. So here I'm going to go ahead and load a VST3. So I'm going to go ahead and find one of my favorite reverbs. So I'm going to go to my Eventide folder here, and I'm going to go to the 2016 stereo room. Now, as you can see, this is opened inside of Axiom, and you can do this with any of your favorite delays, reverbs, or any other third-party plugins that is not limited by type. You can also open third-party effects plugins or third-party guitar effects plugins inside of Axiom as well, which in my opinion is a bit of an overkill, but still very cool to be able to do. As you know, most guitar effects software will kind of keep you in a box. It has its own architecture. You have to make all the purchases through the app. You have to make all the additions, and everything has to be done through the app and compatible with the app, or you'll have some problems down the line, things like crashing or any other potential issues that prevent you from having a more freer, in a sense, experience. So we don't do that, and we give you that flexibility for you to chase your ultimate sound. So shortly we will be getting into some real-time changes of volume and tone. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a Strat style guitar loaded with single coils. It's an SSH configuration, so single humbucker. And just to give you guys a more general idea of how transparent the changes in sound are within Axiom. All right. All right, for some variety, I have my Strat style guitar ready to go. As you can see, it has the humbucker single coil configuration. So we're going to go ahead and use the middle and neck pickup for this part of the demo. So you can get to hear the nuances of your different pickups and pickup configurations. So here I have loaded up our clean chorus preset, which is a clean amp with stereo chorus. So here we go. You can hear that bell-like quality of these single coils. There's no coloration whatsoever. Now we're going to move on to a different preset, and also I'm going to show you, as I had mentioned previously, how you can use the full taper of your potentiometer and get the most of it in Axiom. So we're going to go ahead and choose our Jeff's signature preset. So here we're going to go ahead and do some volume swells so you can hear how sensitive it is to volume changes in real time. I'm using the entire taper of my volume pot from 0 to 10, and I get every single nuance of that curvature. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to a different guitar, again, just to get some variety. So this time around, for some even more variety, I have my Telecaster plugged in with the stock tele pickups. So I'll be using the bridge position, and currently I have the slapback crunch preset ready to go. And it sounds a little something like this. You can hear that signature Telecaster twang. It comes through just great. I'll be moving on to the neck pickup with a different preset. So this time around, I have the Telecaster set on the neck pickup with the tone rolled all the way down. And I also have ready to go our Vintage Jazz Club preset. So it sounds a little something like this. You can really hear the nuances of your dynamics, the way you pick, your tone being rolled down or set at max, your volume taper, everything comes through in very finite detail. So one last piece of variety here. I have my black Strat, and it contains 3 single coil size humbuckers. So I'm going to go ahead and use that in the bridge position and load up a lead high gain tone. Right now I have the Joe Summer Tone preset ready to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some arpeggiated chords just to kind of let the notes ring out so you can hear the separation and again the nuances of these pickups. And it sounds a little something like this. So again, you can hear those nuances, that clarity that comes through, no coloration from Axiom whatsoever. Everything comes through exactly as it would from a cable directly into the front end of an amp. So now we're going to go into a different preset here and pull up our Ain't Talking About Eruption. And it sounds a little something like this. So definitely that classic high gain 80s tone that is very well known. So again, retaining the quality of your instrument, the nuances of your playing, the clarity of your pickups, or the specific nuances of your pickups. Again, a very, very unique feature of Axiom. All right, so this time around, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be using Axiom to reamp. Now, I have an existing guitar track here, nothing wrong with it per se. It could just use a little extra something, maybe a little bit more presence, a little bit more cut. We can go ahead and obtain that using Axiom. So I'm going to go ahead and play the unprocessed sound, followed by the processed sound through Axiom. So it sounds a little something like this. So as you can see, it gave me that little bit of extra oomph that I was looking for. Now, one of the things that I'm going to add in during this reamp process is I'm going to add one of our built-in plugins. And this is one of my personal favorites. And it can be found under our built-in EQ and filters list. And that'll be our wah-wah pedal. Now, our wah-wah pedal is specifically called the meow wah, which again appropriate for Blue Cat as it is Blue Cat. So and also the sounds that sometimes the wah wah can make, which is where the inspiration comes from. Now, I'm going to be using this wah wah to give me more of a kind of 60s, 70s funk sound for this particular guitar track. Now, the auto wah is usually set automatically. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off since I will be manually rocking the wah wah back and forth. So as you can see here, you can see the rocker go back and forth as you would on a physical wah wah pedal. You can either grab the rocker itself and rock back and forth, or you can grab this fader here and go up and down. Me, just because it's more visually appealing, I like to grab the rocker itself and go back and forth. And I do like the attention to detail. You can see the shiny chrome effect here, which is very pleasant to me personally. So we're going to go ahead and use this on the track. So again, we're going to play that from the beginning. We're going to make sure that our Axiom is processing. It is on, as you can see. And let's have at it. Now, as you can see, the wah-wah is very realistic. It has its entire taper as it would on a physical wah-wah pedal, very responsive. You can get those very quick kind of Papa was a Rolling Stone wah-wah lines that you can do, or runs, I should say. And there's various models. I particularly like to use the crying wah model. You can also tweak your wah-wah pedal from here. As you can see, you have depth, sensitivity, attack, and release for the auto wah if you're going to use the auto wah. And you can also see the actual hue and bandwidth of the filter itself, which is really, really cool because then you can dial that in. As you can see, each one is slightly different, just like it would on physical wah-wah pedals. Each one of them has its own taper from low to high, and also its different vocal-like qualities. All right, so now we're going to get into a different built-in effect in Axiom called pitch bender. Now, the pitch bending effect has been made popular by artists such as Tom Morello, who create out of this world sounds and sounds that are reminiscent to that of old West Coast hip hop. Now, we're going to use this pitch bending effect in real time using an existing guitar track. So it sounds a little something like this, and we're going to rock the pedal back and forth. As you can see, just like on the meow wall, you can move the foot tread here back and forth, or you can grab to the fader here and move it back and forth. I currently have it set up to go up a few octaves, and I have the mix all the way up to 100 as I want the signal to move relatively quickly from the original signal all the way up to the several octaves up. And this is pretty much what it sounds like. And that's pretty much what it sounds like. As you can see, it gives you, or as I like to say, it does the thing. The whammy pedal is often used specifically for the several octaves up, although you do have the options of going several octaves down or staying within a certain octave range for very, very deep tones, almost bass or baritone like tones. So I'd like to thank you for joining me today, and as a thank you on behalf of myself and Blue Cat Audio, we'd like to offer you our Blue Cat's free amp. Blue Cat's free amp is a free guitar amp simulation plugin which comes with 3 distinct amp models. Now we will be going through a few of the sounds that you can get from those 3 amps, and that will conclude our demo. We'd like to thank you again. Now we're going to get into some sounds that you can get from Blue Cat's free amp. Now, as I had mentioned before, Blue Cat's free amp comes with 3 distinct amp models, which are Classic Clean, Classic Drive, and Modern Drive. Now, for this part, I will be using Modern Drive with the Classic Drive lead preset. As you can see here, you have a plethora of presets made available to you. Now I'm going to go ahead and dial this in. I'll be bringing up some mids, a little bit of bass, and everything else will stay about the same. Right now I am on my black Strat, and I will be in a drop D tuning and have some metal inspired licks here, and it sounds a little something like this. So now I'm going to go ahead and use a clean sound using the Classic Clean amplifier model. Now I'll also be using the Classic Clean Jazzy preset. And that sounds a little something like this. And now for the third and final app model, which is called Classic Drive. I'm also using the Classic Drive lead preset, and it sounds a little something like this. So just a quick recap of everything we went over. So we checked out Axiom and its various capabilities and specialities. We also tried Axiom with various guitars loaded with different kinds of pickups to show the transparency of Axiom and how it allows each of your guitars to retain their individual personality, and also how it can retain the tone of your favorite and beloved pickups. Secondly, we went over two built-in plugins inside of Axiom, which were the meow wall, which is a built-in wah-wah pedal, and the pitch bender, which is a built-in whammy pedal. Next up, we also went over some of the technical in terms of compatibility. So as we had mentioned before, Axiom is supported officially for Apple M1 Silicon. And lastly, I provided the website where you can get your hands on the backing track that was used in this demo. Now I'd like to thank you again for joining me, and I will play you guys out for this one. Thank you again, and I hope to see you in my next demo where I'll cover various Blue Cat audio plugins. Thank you again.